The lights come up. I am doing my first hour at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival. I say to the audience, hello, my name is Andrew Cornelius, and it's my first time in Glasgow. No is the right response. Because from the audience, I hear, go, Glasgow. And 4 seconds into my hour, I am being heckled. As I mentioned, I am a stand-up comedian, and I am going to do my talk now. I would like to explain that I will be telling some jokes in this TEDx talk. The appropriate response is to laugh. If you are so moved and you have to cry, that is also okay. Please do not heckle. Okay, I think we have the ground rules out of the way. Joke number 1. Chonkers, the 2,000-pound sea lion in San Francisco, has gone viral. He has legions of fans, his own TikTok, and an endorsement deal with Ozempic. Airbnb has officially banned indoor security cameras in all listings to better practice guest privacy. They have neglected, however, to remove the rule that you need to scrub the baseboards and power wash the driveway to avoid the $300 cleaning fee. Red Lobster has brought back the endless shrimp promotion despite driving the chain into bankruptcy in 2024. New shrimp flavors include garlic, Alfredo, and hey, that's enough shrimp. I wrote 2 of those jokes. AI wrote 1 of those jokes. I'll let you think about that as we go through our journey together. I live and work in Hollywood, so I hear the proclamations of AI everywhere. I hear it constantly. I am here to tell you, I hear all of it. I hear that AI is going to eliminate entertainment jobs. I hear that it creates slop or digital garbage. I hear that it says that you should leave your spouse. That might be just mine, but I understand how it works. On the other side, I hear how it's going to give creators complete digital freedom, a great disintermediary so that those that have and those that have not are equal. That also could be the future. I'm here to tell you that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Originally, I was against using AI in comedy. I had put in my 10,000 hours. I had worked it out on the stage. I have written hundreds of two-liners like what we just heard. I don't like the idea that AI could just replace that. But over time, I came to understand what my job is as a comedian. And it's a dynamic job. Starting in early history, the Middle Ages, comedians were jesters, and they told jokes to the kings. And if the king liked your joke, he rewarded it. And if he didn't, you were canceled. I'm glad those days are over. Then we moved into the age of mass media. Comedians now had to understand how to work with radio and television. And eventually, comedians could be found on the internet. And now it's progressed to where a comedian can get discovered on social media. The job keeps changing. What doesn't change is the bread and butter of a comedian. The two-liners that I just started with are all based on the same idea. Once you know this formula, it's going to take a little bit out of the joy of comedy for you, but I'm going to take that risk. There's first the setup, the idea that you need just enough information to get the joke. For me, in the first example, it was Chonkers. You need to know that Chonkers lives in San Francisco. You might need to know that he is 2,000 pounds. It also would be helpful to know that that is much bigger than any other sea lion. Then, after the setup, there's the punchline. This is the part where the comedian adds their point of view and you delight in the new information that you've been given. For us, it was a list, and then the idea that Chonkers might get a sponsorship from Ozempic. Not very realistic for a seal, but that is the delight. What a fun idea that a seal might get to take Ozempic. And who would inject him? No one knows. The third part of almost every joke is the act out. I didn't do an act out today, but we could take a moment with our friend Chonkers and go through it. And we could have Chonkers there on the San Francisco Pier. He's flapping his arms going, "Ar, Zembic." It's the third piece of a joke. And the fourth one is the tag. After you have all these other pieces, can you throw out any more punchlines that create efficiency in the joke? Well, we're already thinking about Chonkers. We already think that he is on Ozempic. We have pictured him on the pier. What else could be there? Oh, perhaps that he has gone Hollywood, and that he denies that he takes GLP-1 drugs, and that he does it naturally, with a diet of kelp and a daily swim. That makes up the four components of almost every joke: the setup, the punchline, the act out, and the tag. What's interesting to me is that when I started embracing AI, I learned that it can do some of those pieces. If I can tell you the four pieces of a joke, AI can reproduce many of those pieces. Specifically, the setups. AI is so efficient at looking at the words and making sure that we know just enough to create the joke's setup. It's not at the place yet where it can deliver the punchline. It can emulate the punchline, it can copy a punchline, but the part that delights us is the whimsy that each comedian makes up on their own. But some other amazing things that AI can do for a comedian include the idea of this team effort. If you're not familiar, late night does a lot of these two-liner jokes up top in the show. It's a monologue joke for the host. Teams of writers, teams of researchers go through the news and create these jokes daily, and it takes most of their day to get it done. AI can do it like that. The setups could be given to a comedian, and the comedian can focus their energies on all those punchlines. Another useful thing for comedians with AI is that originally I was afraid that it would use my likeness and say, "I like Pepsi, I don't, I like Coke." But AI can take an image of my likeness. It can watch the 10,000 performances that I've done. It can listen to my voice. And if I wrote a new joke about Chonkers, instead of having to go to the ice house down the street and present it, I can tell AI that I want to look like I'm saying the joke in a comedy club, and I'm getting a huge laugh, and put it up on social media. And in a second, it exists, just like that. And finally, part of the comedian's job, I mentioned, has evolved into social media. You have to promote yourself on social media. And part of that is understanding how the algorithm can find citizens. For me, I have found one of the most useful things is for me to describe the video to AI and then have AI write the description for the algorithm so that the algorithm can recognize it. I have it generate tags so the algorithm knows who will enjoy a joke about chonkers. All of this is possible just like that. So I'm in Glasgow, and I'm having a hard time because I have a heckler following me all the way through. And I don't mean just following my joke bit by bit. This heckler is letting me know in real time how much they are enjoying the show. They are not enjoying the show. I become painfully aware of it, grind out my hour, go back to my hotel room, and feel awful. But I don't quit comedy. In fact, if I never told you about that show, it wouldn't exist. It wasn't recorded. It went back into the ether after I was done. And I don't have to worry about it. That's the resilience of a comedian. That's what makes you a comedian. It is that absolute bombing experience again and again and again that helps you hone your resilience, that helps you hone your comedic experience. So that even when an Airbnb joke kind of falls flat, you know that this audience likes a Red Lobster joke. In a pinch, AI, it's a time-saving tool. It's a shortcut. But it's no excuse for not making the art. And that's the fun part. That's the real joy of being a comedian. What makes you a comedian, what makes me a comedian, is a human relationship. It's this feedback and the ability to understand what you're enjoying and how I can pivot and change it so that you enjoy it more. And finally, it's an audience connection. That will never go away. As much as AI may want to, comedy is essentially human. It is something magical that we all share together, that it's worth it to get into a room that is dark, hear me speak, and then enjoy laughter together. That's amazing. So, by a round of applause, I'll go over the jokes one more time. And if you think you've figured out which one is the AI, that's the time for you to clap. Don't clap for two, although I will not know the difference. All right. How many people, by a round of applause, think chonkers was the AI joke? Not a single person. You are right. That was 100% Andrew. I got applause. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. How many people think it was the second one, the Airbnb joke? And how many people think it was the third one, the Red Lobster joke? That's interesting. So the process was, as I mentioned, I write those two-liners all the time. That is the workout for a comedian. And last year, over 20 days, I wrote 5 jokes a day to make 100 jokes. And then I had all those jokes in a text file. And I gave my AI the text file to read so that it could emulate me. And in the end, it made up the Airbnb joke. Yes, kind of a blend. It was kind of a trick question. Who wrote it? We both wrote it because it learned from me, and then I read the joke. And I would use a few less words, honestly, I would. But in the end, time-saving tool that came through. So whether you're a citizen or a comedian, we know that you can't stop the advent of AI. But I would say, don't fear it, because it's a tool to be used. And if you decide to use it, lean into it with all of your humanness, because that's what makes a comedian. Thank you.